Good morning. We are back in the shop. Rhett's welding some things on to make it go better. Caitlin's been helping. Jake?
I'm here, supervising.
I don't know who made him a supervisor. So Colby is cutting these out. They're thick. They got speed holes in them. They go right here. And this goes on every single one of these. And it's for lateral stability. Because when you go around a corner, these axles fight against each other. They try to shear past each other. And this will stop, will take a lot of stress off of stuff. Not only do we have a gusset from here to here, which is helpful for load carrying, we've got a gusset from here to here, which stops the shifting. I think we're gonna run some tubing in here. I also think we're gonna end up boxing these. If Colby gets good with the arc droid, I'm gonna have him make some stuff.
It's working. I've been texting Tom a little bit, and he's been very helpful. Thanks, Tom.
No problem, Colby.
Okay, so this axle tapers off, so we're welding this little thing here to keep the U-bolt straight. I got the Yukon diff cover on. There's not much to say, but it looks good. Nothing like getting some nice GL5 in it.
How's the welding going?
It is going great. The brackets are going on nice. The welder's welding. And I have no complaints for right now other than I'm a little bit hungry.
It is 12.
Is it?
Yes.
Dude, some chicken nuggies sound good right now. Or the fried chicken up at the gas station. That's where I'm going.
All right, we're back from lunch. Actually, we've been back for a minute. Colin's got these all welded up. They look amazing. Super strong. We've kind of been pecking away at this all day. We've got the posi in there. We got the gears set up. Actually, we haven't even checked to see the gear pattern. I'm gonna do something very brave. I'm gonna show the gear pattern for the first time on the internet. And regardless of how good or how bad it is, I'm gonna run it. And if that makes you sad, I'm gonna lubricate these gears with your tears. So just paint 3 of these teeth, both sides.
Okay.
First thing we're gonna do is rotate it this way. You're good, that's good. It's not a Picasso. Okay, now here's what you're gonna do. You're just gonna kind of drag on this. Don't let me suck your hand in there, okay? Okay, let's see what the coast side looks like. That's a remarkably good pattern.
That's really good.
We are right in the center, and we're down low. We're not off the edge, and we're not in the bottom. Okay? Now let's check the drive side. I hope this is good. All right, right in the middle.
Wow.
I'm calling it. I'm counting it. Okay. It may not be perfect, but I mean, who am I kidding? That is perfect.
Nice.
I just want to show you this because we talked about this. We talked about drain holes in metal. So this is going to be sealed, but we put this little weep hole right here in case any moisture gets in. It can get out and get into here, and then this has a weep hole right here. So you got your wrench to tighten that up with. We get asked in every video how we're going to make this work with 42-inch tires in the front and 35s. And even though we answer it in every video, not everybody watches every video. So I'm gonna answer it again here. So we're running 410 gears in the back axles with 35-inch tires. And this is the front axle. We just loaded it with 488 gears, and that puts them within a couple of % of each other. It actually makes the front axle turn ever so slightly faster, which is advantageous, especially on a truck with this long of a wheelbase. All right. We're waiting for a couple more things to finish this front axle, so we're gonna put it in temporary storage right there. We're gonna clean this surface off, which we've already done, and we're gonna start on the mysterious sideways pumpkin axle of crookedness. That's what we're building next. Set it on that side first. And then let's set it on this side second. Okay. Colin, Rhett, Carter, Bring me another jack stand.
We going in?
Like,
It needs to go down.
Look how shiny that is. Beautiful.
Look how precision.
I need somebody to put a mark on this so we can see if we're hammering it in or not. Okay. It's going in, it's just going in really slow. I just need more. Yeah.
Ears.
What?
So Rudy just stopped by the shop to drop off some wheels, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to give him this.
oh my goodness.
Look at that thing.
I can add that to the collection now. Is that even, wow. Trailer and the Rokon?
They even made the hitch crooked like me and Tom welded it.
I can see that.
So a few days ago, we built a little trophy for my dad, and right now we are waiting for my mom and one of my brothers to show up so we can present it to my dad. Okay, we got all the brothers together. We even got Rhett here today. We're gonna go give this trophy to my dad for Father's Day, so let's go do that. Happy Father's Day!
Oh wow. Oh, that is awesome. Is today Father's Day?
It will be when they see this.
Well, those are 9mm wrenches. You're not here to drop off wheels.
No, not really.
That's cool. Thank you guys.
Remember that day you were worried about, you were wondering why I was out at Rudy's shop?
Yeah. I never even wondered.
Well, you didn't think it was weird when I got on a Zoom meeting and I was at Rudy's shop? Huh. Because I had to take him out there.
I'm like, oh, Mom hanging out with her kids. That's weird. I'm gonna set it right there for right now.
Oh, great. That's gonna fall on me.
I got good kids. I've got good kids. Good morning. Ed and I stayed at the shop late last night and got this perfect. You can see we've got the straightening rod of justice in here. It is long enough, even though it's in there about 2.5, 3 inches. Colin's gonna weld this up today, and we're gonna try to keep it straight while we do it. And then we might put some trusses on it. We probably will put some trusses on it. There's a chance we could put trusses on it. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people think I start with a plan, and I don't. You know what my plans are? They're a Monet. They're like a guy with bad vision, no glasses, looking at a Monet. That's what my plans are like. And then they come into focus slowly as the build goes on. Colin, let's get this axle in focus.
Hey Siri, what's a Monet?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is an, okay, I get it now. I got it. So it's like a blurry picture.
Okay. Your first weld is gonna go from here to here. And you're gonna put a root pass that catches both sides of this, okay? Ignore that one. That make sense? So you may want to rotate that. I don't know. Go ahead and tack that in right there. I'm gonna tack in this first one, and then I'm gonna have you tack in the rest of them. Make sure they're easy to cut off, because we're gonna have to cut them off. So I would tack there and there and there and there. Do the 4 just like that. We gotta get some wheels for Jamie's car. Stock wheels are cool. I mean, I could respect that, but I just like wheels a little better. I don't think these are the wheels we're gonna run, but Rhett had these laying around for a project that he's never gonna get finished, so I stole them.
That was a personal attack.
Okay, finish putting those on and then come get me. This axle was this much shorter than the other axle, so we didn't have any tube, so we're making some out of this. I think it's gonna be just fine.
All right, Jake and me got the wheels on, so we're gonna pull this out now.
Look out, Max. Come here. Those are good looking wheels. Good job, Ava. We stole them from
I
Rhett.
had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Sure you want to wrap that again?
Well,
That was really close. No, it's still got a little.
there's one more layer. This is going to be a wider one. Can you feel that?
So, he's making noise. But a lot of you will notice I got a black eye and a few stitches right here. Let's just say I got in a tussle with Rex Kwon-Do. Those roundhouse kicks.
All right, that was pretty good. Okay.
He's a pretty tough kid. And just like that, we are back in the shop. It's a new day. We've got a huge crew. We got Jake and Rhett and Colin and AA Ron, and we've got Caitlin. Good morning, Caitlin. And then the ever lovely Jamie. What are you working on?
Just bills. Nothing exciting.
Okay, she's paying my bills. It's so awesome because I can buy whatever I want, and it's always free because Jamie pays for it. We got a lot going on today. We've got Steve from ORD coming to drop some parts off. We're going to be getting our spring shackles. We're going to be getting a transfer case, I think. I don't know. He's coming. He's going to be by any minute. And we've got to pull the straightening rod of justice out of here. It is straight. And we got to start building this. This is what we're going to be working on today. All right, looks like Steve from ORD just showed up. And he's got some parts. Let's check him out. Oh, he's got a whole load of stuff. How's it going?
Good. How are things here?
What's that?
I said, how are things here?
Oh, couldn't be better.
You're going to want to come look over here.
This is the hot man.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's awesome. Look at that.
Oh, would you make those?
There's
Speed.
Make and deliver. Like, doesn't get much better than this.
Steve brought us the goods. The Spud truck is back on track. We're going to go work on that right now, build some gears or do something for it. But hey, thanks, Steve from ORD.
Yeah, thank you. Looking forward.
Oh, I waved at the wrong guy.
Did you wave at him?
These guys have got to go work on real race cars. We're going to go work on our make-believe stuff. But yeah, after lunch though. All right, so the first thing we've got to do is we've got to take out the straightening rod of justice. All right, this just slides out here like this now.
Look at that thing.
Take these out. We interrupt this video to bring you some information. Look at these. These are the back wheels. So it was really hard to get 8-lug 15-inch wheels in a bead lock. Nobody does that anymore. I'm living in the past, man.
Man, you're old school.
I'm living in the past. So I needed 15-inch 8-lug wheels because I needed to run a 35-inch tire. So Raceline checked way in the back in their storage container, and they had a couple of centers, and they built these for me. Thank you guys so much. This is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna get these powder coated and then have them match the front. Where are the front wheels? They're out there.
Yeah.
Let's go look at those. All right. So we got a 20-inch wheel in the front, and 15s in the rear. Those are gonna look good. That's all I got to say.
It's usually the opposite. Like hot rodders put the big wheel in the back, little in the front. Not here.
What we lack in size, we're gonna make up for in quantity.
That's right.
We're gonna put a whole bunch of wheels in the back. All right, we're back from lunch. We got the wheels dropped off at the powder coater. Now we're gonna be installing these. But first, check out this splitter. This used to be an NP205, and now it's an NPSP. New process splitter. So the power comes in this side, comes out here, and comes out here. That's all I can tell you. This will go to the back axle, right down the center of the frame, and this one will go to the front axle, straight back from there.
Look at that old crusty one. Now look at that.
We're gonna put the other axle under here and see how it looks.
Like tires on it too?
Yeah, I just wanna make sure that everything's right, yep.
So can I start putting these These leaf springs on?
Yeah. All right, Rhett, do you want me to hold that up with this 5-inch long 9/16 fine thread bolt and nut from boltsandnuts.com?
I would love you to.
Try her now.
Water, dirt, rotate, and put it right under the dot on the axle. Here, Colin, Rhett, catch that. That is what the little button goes in.
So while these guys are figuring this out, I have to address a comment. Someone left a comment a few weeks ago that I'm making them seasick with my camera movements. Two things. One, it's technique. And two, I got back problems.
We got to build some
Makes
temporary plates.
Temporary that are going to become very permanent.
Yeah, right. They just need the hole knocked out of them. All right, so those definitely are temporary. We need to find some of those or just get them made.
Well, then you're gonna tighten up the inner one.
Was that your...
I just need to see this. Okay, we did not get the axle exactly centered, but that's okay. Come on down.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh. Look at that. Just don't look at me. Look at it.
Oh, they have
Look.
it.
Oh, look at it. Okay, well let's look at the drive shafts and that. So this drive shaft goes right here, and it's just gonna barely miss this axle. All right, so there's 1 degree of rake. By the time we set the bed on there, it'll probably be less than that, maybe even 0. And then we set the front ride height up so that it has like a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch of forward rake again. And then when we load it, it's almost level. That's what I'm thinking. Now, simplicity, I'm gonna answer a question right now. Another old question. There's a lot of questions that start out like this. Matt, why don't you just, and then fill in the brake. Like, why don't you just put a crane on it so you can just pick them up and set it on there? And why don't you just put airbags? And why don't you just use Rockwell axles? Or why don't you just use military axles that have pass-through? Or why don't you just do this or just do that? And there's one simple answer. I want this to be simple. Simple is the key. I need it to be as simple as possible. Almost all the time, simple has a better chance of working than complex does. So if something's gonna fail, it's usually gonna be something that's more complex. And if something's gonna keep working, it's usually gonna be something more simple. So I'm trying to do it as simple as possible while being functional for what I need. Don't step on the brake. So this is a good example of how good the proportions look, even though the front tire right now is 40s and the rear is 35s. That's about what the proportions are gonna be. I really need to get a hold of Von Hot Rod. See if he's got any ideas for making this old school cool. I've finally come to that point in my life where I want to race the Baja 1000. And let me show you what we've been up to. Behind these doors is the racing division of Matt's Off-Road Recovery. And yes, you guessed it, we are racing the coolest and best car ever made on this planet, Chevrolet Corvairs. So what we have is our turbo division, block division, our crank division, camshaft division, carburetor division, cylinder head division, and core motor division. So the really cool thing about Corvair engines is they always run. All of these engines run. If they're not locked up, they run, and that's just something that's awesome about it. So we have got to build a race car, and we've got to build a race car engine and transmission and all the suspension and all that stuff. So this morning I was talking to Jason at DIY Off-Road, and we're making a plan for Sweet Caroline, and we're gonna build the fastest desert racing Corvair in the world. In the world. All right.
Probably the only desert racing forbearer in the world.
20 years ago, Tom, myself, and Johnny Boy started building a Baja truck. We named it Sweet Caroline. And after a couple months of working on it, we realized we were super poor and it wasn't gonna happen. I think the time has finally come that we're gonna make it to Baja. So the plan is we've got 3 or 4 race engines to build. We've got transaxles to build. We've got obviously a car, a whole chassis to build. And the plan is for our first desert race ever to be the Baja 1000 2025. We need to clamp this down. Okay. So this is an OT30. This is an Auto Parts OT30. And this is an old one. This is, oh man, look at how awesome that is. Okay, you ready to read this? Who's good at reading these? What does this do? That holds that. That's 100 thousandths, 200 thousandths, 300 thousandths, 315 thousandths. Cams don't measure lobe lift, they measure valve lift. So that's 315. Somebody write that down somewhere. And the exhaust is 122 thousandths. All right, so this is 340 degrees of total duration. That's not at 50 thousandths like cams are measured at, but that doesn't matter because we're comparing all the cams off from total lift. Should we do it at 50 thousandths? Let's not. Let's assume all of the ramps are acceptable. We're just trying to get an idea for what cams we have. When we find the cams we have, we'll degree them and find out what they are at 50 thousandths so we have some more realistic numbers. All right, it is a new day, and you'll notice the shop is missing the Spud truck. And the reason that is because we had a job out of town and then it ended up canceling. Back on the Spud truck. All right, so a couple things before we take this apart, I want to show you something. So I've always in my mind envisioned the carrier bearing riding on this axle because that's the way I've seen it done before. But as soon as we got this axle in, it became apparent to all of us that we might not have to do that. There's not a lot of up travel on this axle. We're not gonna let it go up a lot. It can't because this axle needs to be very stable to this frame. They've got to be connected very good. So anyway, that's just something that's cooking right now. We're not gonna make a decision, but we are leaning that direction. All right, guys, I need you to pull this axle out, strip it completely down, store the parts nicely, and pressure wash inside and out of this axle. I am gonna go review Sunday's video because I have to do that to make sure that I look really good.
All right, so just like Matt said, the B team's gonna be on this and we're gonna take this. Days since last injury.
All right, I just got back from reviewing the video and it's a good one. Oh man, if you missed last week's video, you need to watch it. It is awesome, especially all the way to the end and the whole thing. It's just good.
This axle was all clean, and yesterday we pushed it out and we had the biggest dust storm ever. You couldn't see Pine Valley. So that's why we have to do this now.
All right. Oh man, look.
Oh, is
Some
it?
serious dunes in there.
Oh man.
We'll put that on the shelf. We're gonna do the dishes in a minute.
And Mike was right.
Oh, look at that. Right off.
So when you live in the desert, you gotta have the right accoutrement to go outside and do work. I recommend a nice traveler like these boys have and a sun hat. Oh.
Second.
Second time's a charm.
You want to crank on the water and see what happens?
Yep.
That's a lot of power.
Okay, it looks like they got this all cleaned up, ready to put back together. That's awesome. Okay, we'll get right on that. I'm actually leaving town for the rest of the week. I'm going to be leaving this crew alone to do stuff, and I'm going to be going out with a youth group and teaching them how to survive in the woods. You know what I'm like as a leader? Ron Swanson.
For the last 3 years, I have served as troop leader of the Pawnee Rangers. This is our handbook. I wrote the whole thing myself.
I'm very Ron Swanson-like. I've been told.
It's survive. Like if you can't survive, you're gone.
Yeah. Yep. The wolves have got to eat too. So.
Survival of the fittest.
I've got some thinking to do on some of this stuff anyway, so it's good to take a break, to step back a little bit. I'm gonna be thinking about this the rest of the week.
See you tomorrow.
Have fun with your arts and crafts.
We're out here in the woods learning valuable skills like canoeing so we can eat fish and not plants. Looks like we're eating plants for dinner. This is what we're doing now. Jamie, tell us what's going on here.
We are hitting the zip line.
All the way down there. All right, so all the kids are done riding, so that means that what are you, an adult?
A leader.
The adults get to ride down there. I can't ride down. I actually exceed the maximum weight of this by 5 pounds. I'm gonna have to do something about that. I'm gonna have to talk to Maverick about that. Sending line 2.
Line 2 ready, copy.
Are you excited for this next thing?
Yes.
Just try to keep it on.
How was that?
Best dinner I've ever had at camp.
Pretty dang good. All right, we got all that out of the way, and it is a new week, and we are back on the Spud truck. Let's go get it in. To the Spud truck.
Push on my back.
We are in. Oh, we're good.
Yeah, that's right there. Right there's good.
Well, it's safe to say the Spud truck is not ready for recoveries, but it's ready for SEMA.
All right, we got the axle in here. We've got a few more things to get it kind of mocked into place. But I was just informed by Caitlin that it's time to push the race car.
The Baja car.
Colin, I need your horsepowers. Here it is. This is our race car. Baja 2025, Baja 1000. We're taking this. Don't worry, we're not ruining a classic. We're making it super awesome. It's going to be the most iconic Baja race Corvair ever in the whole world. So we're doing it a favor, and we saved it from just melting into the desert.
Oh yeah, it's already ready.
You might have to hold the door closed.
Here we go. Push as hard as you can.
You got it, guys. All right, Caitlin.
All right, so we're gonna leave these guys here to clean this out. You can see we're not really working with a peach here.
Oh man.
Oh, is that the floor?
What is this? Never seen this before.
There was once floor there.
That's the gas heater. We're gonna want to take that out carefully because that actually has some value. Here's an air filter for Colby's car.
Hey. Well, Rhett, it looks like your work's cut out for you. You got a lot of crustacean going on.
We need
there.
a vacuum.
We're gonna
Yeah.
need gloves.
It's all clean, you know. It sat out in the heat. It should be decontaminated, right?
After you're done with this, you know you can add archaeologist to your resume.
True.
How did you start a fire?
Oh, I was like, I'll use heat. I was like, I'll use heat.
Oh my goodness.
We need water. Where's water? We don't need this.
There's one right here.
It's good. That was a little big for a second.
Tell us what happened.
Well, I can't get this bolt to go free. It's like, I'll use heat. But then I forgot. I sprayed brake cleaner down there. There's also a lot of dry stuff. I'm gonna refill this back up.
All right, so once again, Barnes is coming through in a big way for the Spud truck build. They sent us these plates out. Look at these things. That is straight up beef right there. I think these are gonna do the trick.
All right, so I've been working on this for a little bit. To show you guys just how far gone this car is. Like, look, I can almost go clear through that by just kicking, like. You'll be Flintstoning this car in no time. All right, so we got the seat out, and now I have all this to clean up. A new mess was made while trying to clean up the other.
All right, we've got this temporary drive shaft that we're about to weld up. Let me show you how it fits in here. It fits in something like this, right there. Now, let me tell you why this would never work in real life. We've got an angle up here on this end and no angle down here. That means we're gonna have a velocity difference in the rotation of this part than this part. And you would notice that with something people call drive shaft vibration, or just vibration, and some noise. You might get some noise out of it. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a double card in here. Right now we're just trying to drive it out of the shop.
Call them that good. I don't dare strip those out.
So let's pull this gas tank out and we will implement Operation Gas Can.
Little Spud truck cold start for you guys.
Straighten it out, back up. The drive shaft that will never worked. Stop, go up. Okay. All right, down. All right, that would get us stabilized enough to work on it. All right, Jake's got this where he says we can just pull it straight on out. Oh,
just like so.
Well, that's some of it.
That's one piece. Yeah, gross.
It can't come. Oh,
there it goes.
Easy, Jake.
It's already sketchy enough under here.
Where's the rest of the help? We gotta start getting this cleaned up. We got stuff to do. I want to get that cut off with a thin cut. That's easy to do. Just go in front of us. All right, I think that is the last straw. That's what I think. I think we're gonna set this on.
Let's do it.
Those Colin. We're gonna need that pin.
Yep.
Okay, can you pick this up?
Yeah.
Why don't you grab one of them hammers?
You want a dead blow?
No.
Big moment.
We're putting the bed on the Spud truck. Where's the key at?
There it is.
We don't know that yet. I sure hope we measured this right.
All right, guys. Ready?
Go up a little. Whoa. Can you get it in that side?
My side's perfect.
Okay, slide it in.
Power wash the inside of your car?
Have I?
Yeah.
No. This doesn't have a valuables in it, so we can do that. Every now and then you have to cool off.
All right, let it down, gentle.
What? No.
How tall that is.
Can we take this again on the street like this?
Dang. Everything looks good over here.
That looks awesome.
Is there any way to lower this? There is. I can lower this. What's it sitting on?
Right.
Oh, it's sitting right here.
Yeah.
So lowering it would be a problem. The thing is I could put a lot of work into it and lower it like an inch. There's not much more. I think we might get 2 inches if we were really crafty. There's a maze. That thing might go through the maze now that I'm looking at it.
It will.
Stop. Set the park brake. All right, we're gonna do a little comparison to see how close we got it to right. 116 inches. So what we're measuring there is the center line of the axle to the end of the bed. Now over here it's trickier. This is the back axle. This is the other back axle. So we have to go in the middle of these. So go right off the L right here. Okay. What was the last one?
It was 116.
Yeah.
All right. So this one we're 113. So because it's an off-road wrecker, the bed is significantly shorter from the center line of the wheel. Actually though, let's see what our departure angle is going to be, because the departure angle isn't an average of these two, it's simply off of this one. So if we compare our departure angle, well, we're not measuring departure angle, we're just measuring what would affect the departure angle, and that is our overhang. We're 91.5 inches. So I think off-road capability goes to this unit right here. I don't know how I miscalculated the deck height so high, so bad, but this is easily 4 inches higher than I thought it was going to be. Okay, we are nominally 46 inches to the deck, 44 3/4 to the deck. We are taller than our on-road wrecker.
Which one do you think weighs more?
Oh, I know which one weighs more. That one weighs way more. That one back axle on that truck weighs more than all 3 of the axles on this truck.
Holy smoke.
All right, let's clear out the shop, pull this in. Oh, should we put the car on here right now?
Yes.
Yeah, let's pick
All
up that
day.
car. Stop. All right, I wanted to talk to you about some of the differences of an off-road rollback and an on-road rollback. You'll notice right here, the ground clearance, the departure angle is really what we're talking about. So having a wheel lift on the back of this would kill our departure angle, making it no good for off-road recovery. So a wheel lift is out. We've got a much shorter wheelbase on the off-road version than we do on the on-road. You look at this, this is like a locomotive with a couple cars. That thing is just a stubby, stumpy little brick pig pen. It's awesome. You can see these toolboxes right here. We're not going to be able to put any of those on there. There has been some talk about I could put some high saddle tanks for gas, or maybe even use steps for gas. Oh, we're going to have some sort of a step on here, but it's going to look a lot more like a rock slider. And you're still going to have to do a little bit of a hop to get in here. That thing right there, you can't drive over a curb at Walmart. This thing will be able to drive through Walmart. We've got a lot of work to do up here suspension wise. We've got a lot of work to do up here front bumper wise. We don't have a great approach angle here. I don't think we're ever going to have a phenomenal one, but this isn't a rock crawler. But we'll be able to hold the bumper up really high and the winch really high up here. All right, we had a lot of comments and they were concerns, and they were legitimate concerns about when the bed goes up, the front of the bed is going to be in the way of this winch and I'm not going to be able to use it. Well, what's going to happen is the front of the bed will be up here above the winch. It'll be clear, you know, it'll be clear right here when it's tilted back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a fair lead on the front of there, an open topped hooked fair lead, a really big beautiful one, and the winch line will go up over the top of the bed down to what we're recovering. And this isn't for heavy recovery. We're not pulling things out of ravines. We're pulling things that roll or mostly roll onto this smooth deck. There's not gonna be a lot of pressure on it. So I wouldn't worry about the bending forces on the bottom of this, and I wouldn't worry about the rope going over my super big, wide, smooth fairlead. I think it's just gonna be fine. Several of you have talked about the fact that I don't have any leveling here. And you're right, there is no equalization of load for these. So I thought about it, and with the minimal amount of wheel travel that I wanted each axle to be independent of each other so one wouldn't affect the other when it came to rocking or tipping or swaying. And either of these axles is capable of holding the entire weight of this vehicle by itself, loaded with another vehicle without any problem. This is an 11,000 pound axle. This is an 11,000 pound axle. The front axle is a 6,000 pound axle. So if I'm in a situation where I lift a wheel or I lift a whole axle, it's only gonna be for a moment and it's just not gonna be a problem. For those of you that don't know what an equalizer is, let me show you. This right here is an equalizer. So this and this, they're mounted on the teeter-totter, and that means that both axles always have the same load on them until you reach the end of the equalization. So you can go over uneven ground without loading one axle too much. So there was also a lot of questions about why don't I use a walking beam. So this is what was on the truck. So it has one leaf spring pack in the middle, and it pivots. It's hooked to this big old unit here, and it pivots, and then it goes out to the axles. And that's how the axles get load equalization. And these are known to be really good off-road, and they're phenomenal in, you know, really uneven hard pack. They actually do pretty good in mud and those swampy type situations, but they have one Achilles heel, and it's like a showstopper, and that is sand. You drive a walking beam suspension into sand and you are done. D-U-N, done. You're going nowhere, you're calling me, and I've got to come get you out. So we scrapped the idea of a walking beam suspension in the first 3 seconds of contemplating an off-road rollback. Got a lot of questions about what's going on with the Bombi, and well, nothing, because we're still waiting for the axles. So I just talked to RCV today. They said that their axles are just done with the heat treating, and so then they got to bring them back and I don't know, they paint them or they do something with them, and then they're going to put them in a box and they're going to ship them here. We'll put them in, we'll go take the Bombi out. That is going to be the hottest drive to the top of the world.
Oh man, take the cab off.
We should.
Stop! You want to let the air out?
And then do it.
What if we let the air out?
Tires out. No damage here. Okay, we're almost 1 degree uphill. That's with about 1,800 pounds on the back. I don't even know, I'm just guessing. There's no drivetrain, no seats. We're just gonna need the front to ride a little bit lower, like a 1/2 inch down or 3/4 inch lower, 1 inch. All right. I'm pretty excited about my off-road rollback. I've mentioned it a couple of times, but I still feel like it's an elephant in the room, and that is Sweet Caroline here. We really are racing Baja. We've got a lot to do to prepare for this, and not the least of which is to whip this whole group of misfits and ne'er-do-wells into a racing team. This has been a dream of mine. Like I've already said this, for years and years, as soon as I heard of the Baja 1000, I'm like, that's something I want to do, and it was always in the future, and the future is now. And the Baja race is in like a 1.5 years.
Well,
Caitlin disagrees. She says it's in a year.
We need to be ready in a year.
Caitlin's one of those kind of people that sets her clock ahead 15 minutes early so she's never late. But all she does is live on an entirely different time schedule than everybody else. One of the things we've got to do is we have got to build ourselves a pre-runner of sorts. And I actually have a desert car that I built a long time ago that I never finished. I think we should go dig it out right now and see what it's going to take to make it into a pre-runner. Something that you guys can drive and test your high-speed driving skills safely and legally. So let me show you the vehicle that we're going to be turning into a pre-runner. I'm calling it pre-runner because the team is going to be pre-running, desert racing. I don't know. I don't know the real definition of a pre-runner. Are you boomed all the way out? Yep. Okay. No, you're fine. How does it feel, Caitlin? How does it handle?
Pretty good, I think.
Oh, I have questions. Is this all engineered and designed by you?
It is.
Okay.
Well, I didn't build this. I bought that.
Well, I mean, if you built that, that'd be
All the
impressive.
shiny stuff was bought.
There's the gas pedal. That's homemade. I'm telling you, this was made. This was made when I didn't have an extra penny to my name, and so anything on here that's nice was stolen. Like I'd have to save up for months to buy a pair of shocks. Okay, so let me tell you really quick what the plans are, because I know we're going to get some comments like, oh, you better reinforce that cage if you're going to desert race it. Yes, yes, you are right. So it's going to get a bar from here to here.
Yes.
Okay, it'll get a bar from here to here, and then it will get an X brace in here because there'll be a bar that comes up here, and then there'll be a bar that comes across here, and then there'll be an X brace. Sorry, Caitlin. There'll be an X brace across the top of that. Sorry. And then we might just do a V brace here or something. I don't know. Is that you I'm hitting on the head or the seat?
The seat.
Okay.
You need a.
I need a bar. I need a bar across here, and then I need to run some like that. And maybe instead of running an X brace from here to the corner, we'll run a diamond brace from here to here. That way, this will be transferring energy into that. So if this collapses right here, it's forcing it down. We're gonna want to put these in double shear instead of single shear. I don't know if they need it, but hey, this is Corvair, late model Corvair spindles. Those are late model Corvair ball joints. I'm telling you, this was built out of
like grabbed whatever you could.
Ingenuity. No, I mean, I thought about this day and night. Because of all the motion, I ended up putting Heim joints on the bottom of these shocks. So when we need new shocks, we have to make custom shocks. All right, we're gonna let the crew get after this and get it all tore down, and we will be back next week to show you what we've done. Plus, we'll be on the Spud truck like we never stopped working on it. Thanks for watching.
Taking a donut break here. Apparently this is for Father's Day.
When's Father's Day?
Coming up.
Why does every dad never know what Father's Day is?
Because it's a very dadly thing to not remember.